Greetings and welcome to M News Live from our news hub here in Lungwa at Dogono. We are also streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, Maranatha TV GH. My name is Margaret Kado. Coming up in our major headlines.
The new executive officer of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital has assumed office after his appointment. Also, the communication director of the new patriotic party NPP has urged Ghanaians to retain NPP in power for a good transformation in the educational sector. And in business, the Vice President Dr. Bawumia has inaugurated a 1,000 metric tons grains warehouse.
This and many other stories, including business and foreign news, makes the headline this afternoon. Now to our very first story. The Korle Bu Teaching Hospital has announced on Monday, October 12, that Dr. Opoku Ampoma, who was the director of the National Reconstructive Plastic Surgery and Burn Center, has assumed office as the new Chief Executive Officer of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. Before his appointment, Dr. Opoku Ampoma was the director of the National Reconstructive Plastic Surgery and Burn Center. The statement signed by Mustafa Salifu, head of public relations at Korle Bu, said he is a consultant plastic surgeon with many years of experience in hospital management. The board and management of the hospital wish to call on all staff and other stakeholders of the hospital to accord the new CEO every support he needs to make Korle Bu the hub of quality healthcare in Ghana and beyond. Dr. Opoku Ampoma is a seasoned consultant plastic surgeon and has over the past 23 years contributed in diverse ways to the health sector both as a clinician and a manager. He currently serves in various capacities, locally as the director of the National Reconstructive Plastic Surgery and Burn Center, Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, Accra, the honorary medical doctor and board member for the Ghana Foundation of Operation Smile, the president of the Ghana Burn Association, and internationally as a director of Research Africa, a UK-based charity supporting the development of reconstructive plastic surgery services in Africa, and also a team member of Interburns International Network for Training, Education and Research in Burns. He is also an executive committee member of the Pan-Africa Burn Society and a member of World Health Organization Expert Committee on Emergency Medical Response for Mass Burn Casualty Incidents. Dr. Ampoma is a graduate of the International Leadership Program for Physicians at the Harvard University TH Chan School of Public Health. He is the first West African-based practitioner to obtain the Intercollegiate Fellowship of the Royal Colleges of Surgeons, UK, in the specialty of plastic surgery in March 2008. In terms of his philosophy for effective healthcare delivery in an under-resourced country, he believes that you should not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. He believes that it is possible to offer first-class medical services in a third world, settling that every member of the healthcare team is also important and that the chain is as strong as weakest link. The communication director of the ruling New Patriotic Party NPP, Yawu Boabin Asamoah, has urged Ghanaians to retain the NPP in power to transform the educational sector as outlined in the Education Strategic Plan to make learning and teaching more relevant to meet the human resource and development needs of the country. He said the plan, which spanned 2018 to 2030, sought to reform the sector and make teaching and learning more relevant to meet the human resource and development needs of the country. Mr. Boabin Asamoah made the call at a press briefing in Accra organized by the party to highlight some of the interventions of the government in the educational sector. He said in 3.5 years, the government had restored teacher training allowance, developed national teacher standards for pre-service teachers, and developed national teacher education curriculum framework to guide teacher education institutions in the development of relevant world-class curriculum.
Mr. Bobin Asama stated that the government had introduced a quality assurance, accreditation and assessment tool for all 46 colleges of education to promote the training of high-quality teachers and work with 5 teacher education universities to develop a 3-semester top-up program for in-service teachers to upgrade and acquire Bachelor of Education. The government, he noted, had developed and deployed colleges of education information management system to ensure information and data sharing between colleges and the National Council for Tertiary Education, as well as introduced the National Service Scheme for graduates of colleges of education. He said the conditions of the service of teachers had been improved and that 35,515 staff that were at positions, including basic school head teachers, assistant head teachers, chaplain, imam, form master, and mistresses were receiving responsibility allowance. Mr. Bobin Asama recalled that available data from the Ghana Education Service between 2013 and 2016 indicated that on the average 100,000 children every year pass the Basic Education Certificate Examination (BECE) but could not take up their places in senior high school due to financial constraints. This represented about 35% of the total number of children who had been placed. Of those who took up their places, 22% dropped out, again due to financial reasons. Free senior high school has therefore come as a major boost to parents, students, and the nation, he said.
Also, private legal practitioner lawyer Edudzi Tameklu has warned the Bono regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party (NPP), Mr. Kwame Bafu, affectionately called Abronye DC, to be very decorous in matters of public discourse.
A furious Edudzi Tameklu wants the regional chair to put a stop to what he described as arrant nonsense talk. His comment follows on the heels of remarks by Abronye DC that sought to link the opposition National Democratic Congress (NDC) under the leadership of ex-President John Dramani Mahama to the gruesome murder of the Member of Parliament MP for Infantima Ekokwansa Hereford. The lawmaker was shot and killed instantly on a road last week, with the initial report linking the shocking death to a possible robbery case. A couple of months ago, Abronye DC alleged on Net 2, an Accra-based private television station, that to further their cause of creating an atmosphere of insecurity, fear and panic in the country so as to make the current administration unpopular, some NPP personalities will be assassinated by NDC hellions during the bidding of the former president. Unenthused, Mr. Mahama on Wednesday, May 6, 2020, lodged a complaint at the police headquarters through his lawyers, Litabru Company. The Criminal Investigations Department (CID) of the Ghana Police Service subsequently invited Kwame Bafu for questioning over the said allegations. In a petition to the CID signed by his lawyer, Tony Litter, John Mahama said Abronye DC had accused him of plotting to assassinate some members of the New Patriotic Party (NPP). Commenting on the MP's death and the linkage to the NDC on one of the media platforms, the legal practitioner, who is a self-confessed NDC bigwig, slammed Abronye for his penchant of peddling falsehoods. Edudzi Tameklu admonished him to season his speech, especially when discussing issues relating to the largest opposition party's flag bearer, since he is a national executive and regional mouthpiece of the ruling party. He, Abronye, could not adduce any evidence when the CID questioned him on the matter. He has no evidence, just baseless allegations. It is so embarrassing for the police that they cannot believe the report. Some statements from the Bono regional chairman, excuse my language, are just arrant nonsense, because I do not expect him to speak like a foot soldier, especially on matters he has little or no information on. He is deliberately bent on mulling the integrity of Mr. Mahama.
Away from that story, President of Ghana-Russia Business Development Council, Dr. Lawrence Awoku Boateng, is calling on the government of Ghana to initiate moves to rescue some Ghanaian nationals in Russia.
Dr. Awoku Boateng, in an interview with Kwame Sefakai on the Monday's edition of Peace FM's Krokoko, disclosed how some Ghanaians, particularly men, are suffering at the hands of these Eastern Europeans. The sad aspect of the situation, he asserts, is These Ghanaian victims cannot return home due to legal consequences or fear of a jail sentence. Dr. Ewuku Boateng recounted how the men get to Russia believing their hookup with a Russian lady on the internet will lead to marriage, only to realize that they are about to be turned into sex objects. Ghanaian men are the most patronized in Russia. These Eastern Europeans arrange for their partners' visas and flight tickets. Also, some footballers are sent to Russia under the guise of securing them good soccer teams, which never is the reality. A lot of the detainees in Russia were deceived to come to the country. The GRBDC president further revealed that, upon reaching Russia, these Ghanaians are confined and locked up in a room without opportunity to go out or live a better life. According to him, the reason why some of these Ghanaian nationals cannot return home is because it is difficult to leave Russia when one's visa, which is usually for 30 days, expires. Hence, they are resort to this life-threatening adventure. Dr. Ewuku Boateng thus wants government attention drawn to the predicament being faced by Ghanaians in Russia.
Meanwhile, the Minister for Energy and MPP parliamentary candidate for Hohoe constituency, John Peter Amewu, has said his contributions to help the constituent had qualified him ahead of any candidate to become the next member of parliament in the constituency.
He said it was inappropriate for Mr. Johnson Esiedun Ketia to describe him as only qualified to go to heaven, but not parliament despite his good deeds for the constituent. He said that was why for all the 28 years, the people that went to parliament in the constituency were not able to deliver anything positively. The PC said for a very long time, electorate do not look out for candidates but took into consideration that the seat was theirs, adding that this seat is not for anybody, it belongs to the constituency. He asked the constituent to elect a credible candidate from the parties to represent them and added that it would be a keen contest and that the NDC should be informed that voters have become discerning. Mr. Amewu said, the people have benefited a lot from government projects over the period, and it was there for everybody to see, including free education and a whole lot in the constituency, which was enhancing the lives of citizens. He said the constituents believe that if they elect him as their member of parliament, he would be able to do more for them. He said the youth was hopeful that if he represented them in parliament, a lot of opportunities be available to them. Madam Rejoice Afi Ejagbo, NPP Voter Regional Women Organizer, said the election shall be free and fair and urged the youth not to engage in electoral violence.
M-News returns shortly with business. Please do stay.
Maranatha Vocational and Technical Institute, Mavotech, comes your way with varieties of courses you can choose from, be it catering and decorations, building and construction, fashion designing, electricals and electronics, beauty skincare, nail culture, and grooming makeup. Admission is in progress. You have a diploma certificate, SHS certificate, JHS certificate, a school dropout, or have no formal education. Then there is no need to fear because you are accredited by the National Vocational and Technical Training Institute. Hostel facilities are also available. You can locate us at the Ayibonto in Sawim on the Dokrochewa St. Martin's Road. For more enquiries, you can contact us on 0246 026 257 or 0504 531 908 and 0243 175 295.
There is a scholarship for the first 100 students, so call now.
Mavotech, helping people to help themselves.
Every citizen has a way of understanding social issues. Remember, we all have our point of view. What is your point of view? Make a date with me this and every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. as I bring to you social and trending issues on Perspective. My name is Mamli Satiti.
You're welcome back from the commercial break. Let's now do some business news. The Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, has inaugurated a completed 1,000 metric tons grains warehouse at Assam near Asante Mampo in the Ashanti region.
The project executed under the Infrastructure of Poverty Eradication Program was supervised by the Ministry of Special Development Initiatives. It is in line with the government of Ghana's agenda to boost food storage and production, thereby ensuring food security in the country. Dr. Bawumia described the project as timely given the high cost of food losses in the country. The Nanado-led administration, he said, was committed to alleviating the plight of farmers for increased productivity. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture statistics has shown that at least 30% of farm produce in the country is lost annually through post-harvest losses, a situation which reduces the incomes of farmers. This tends to make farming unattractive and also inhibits efforts at ensuring food security while perpetuating poverty among a significant number of Ghanaian farmers. According to the Vice President, significant progress have been made by the ruling New Patriotic Party in delivering on its campaign promises to make life better for farmers. He said the country's economy, which was agro-based, was being expanded through the requisite investment in agriculture to create more job opportunities for the people. Nana Nyama Safo Sipon Penyin II, the chief of Assam, said Asante Mapon and its environs were noted for their high production of grains and other staple foods. Therefore, the project had come at the appropriate time when many farmers were grappling with food losses due to the unavailability of storage facilities.
Coming up next is entertainment. Please do stay with us.
I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Maranatha TV presents to you God's Generals, a program about the legends of the Christian faith with compelling spiritual biographies that will inspire you with the fires of revival. Men and women that have stood and fought for God with outstanding and profound demonstration of God's power and God's glory. Men whose passion have been all out for God. Stay tuned as we present to you God's General, coming soon on Maranatha TV.
You're still live on Maranatha TV. This is the entertainment segment. Let's now do our very first story in this edition. Dancehall musician Stonebwoy has committed to raising funds to purchase white canes for the blind and partially sighted community in the Ashanti region ahead of the International White Cane Safety Day.
Out of the over 5,000 members of the Ghana Blinds Union in the Ashanti region, the latest needs assessment saw over 4,700 expressing their dire need for white canes. The tool, which helps in the mobility of persons with disability, is sold at the Ghana Blinds Union Resource Center at 70 cedis per copy, a price far outside the economic reach of several visually impaired persons in the region. This has rendered several persons living with blindness incapable of traveling around freely to realize their full potential. Stonebwoy gave 400 cedis on the spur of the moment and pledged to ensure that he takes up the challenge to purchase more of the canes for the Ghana Blinds Union to distribute it to its members. He cautioned drivers, street hawkers and the citizenry at large to respect, allow passage and offer help to all persons who they find walking with white canes. Stonebwoy further pleaded with hawkers who have taken over the pedestrian walkways as well as the general public to be considerate to the plight of the blind and partially sighted in Kumasi. The Ghana Blinds Union in the Ashanti region is taking advantage of the week's World Sight Day and White Cane Safety Day to solicit funds from the public to purchase as many white canes as people are touched to share among its members. The donation from Stonebwoy and his commitment to this cause gives this campaign a bigger push.
There's more news after this break. Please do stay with us.
I want God's way to be my way. I sight Jenny here below.
There are certain things we cannot import into the church. But above all, what I want to say to MPP is Christ came to influence culture and tradition.
That's right.
And that's what every believer must go after.
Okay, Pastor, you are teaching the people what the Bible says. So, and you know, eventually the woman stood her ground. A lot of things were said. The children would die. This will happen to them. She will face this, she will face that. And you know, for a while, certain things started happening. They were saying, we said, don't worry, the enemy will come to shake your faith and see. She stood firm.
Cherished viewer, it's your favorite Christian program, God's Way is the Way. It comes to your way every Sunday from 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m.
I want God's way to be my way every day.
Welcome back. Let's now do some foreign news. Ethiopian Agriculture Minister Omar Hussein has said more spray planes will be deployed to fight huge local swarms that are devastating farms in East Africa.
This is after 2 spraying planes crashed early October, slowing down the effort to stop the swarms. The minister said swarms had spread to 4 regions in the country and were a threat to Ethiopia's food security. He said the ministry was in the process of identifying farmers most affected by the locusts invasion and will offer them support. The locusts were sighted in several East African countries where they develop crops. Experts called it the biggest infestation in 60 years. Meanwhile, the locusts were sighted in several East African countries where they devote crops. Meanwhile, the experts also called it the biggest infestation in 60 years.
Let's do a recap of our top stories.
The new executive officer of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital has assumed office after his appointment. Also, the communication director of the new Patriotic Party NPP has urged Ghanaians to retain NPP in power for a good transformation in the educational sector. And in business, the Vice President Dr. Bawumia has inaugurated a 1,000 metric tons grains warehouse.
This will be all for this afternoon. For more news updates, you can follow us on Facebook and YouTube, Maranatha TV GH. A very big thanks to the production team. My name once again is Margaret Gado. Have a lovely day.